We have the clips ready. Yes, I have. Work as well, I think. So, yeah, at 2 week. It's high good. Oh, Korean. If I was watching Hello everyone, I'm Chadin over here, and as you always know, you can like my videos and to subscribe in any of the cats sites. So let's begin. This is the second installation of the Black Blade of Chaos Blade Dancer. If you want to watch the first one, I'm also going to link it in the description. But the card is going to be for the planner if you are here from somewhere else, if you want to look at the planner with more time. One thing that I'm going to say though is that this planner is with I have really low gear, let's say, for the content that I'm doing, because I wanted to kind of get to Avaroth without getting like a good weapon and other things. Like I still don't have my Shattered Chains with decent LP or even Shattered Chains at all. I should be using that one. Same thing with some legendary potential on my Black Blade of Chaos. That's, of course, as you know, the most important part is your weapon. You should have one with increased melee damage and with some shred, if possible with flat lining or void. Both of them work. Or you can even get increased melee and increased lining. But increased melee gives us a lot of damage because we have also some flat void here and also some flat void here that also gets increased, blah blah blah. Now, as for the improvements that I had, the first clip that I'm going to show, I still didn't have the Nihilis or the Usenui's Sphere. This I did after that clip where we killed the Herod. I'm going to show it just now. I'm also going to show first the clip where I crafted this one. This one I actually got from, I had been buying the spheres from the normal trader and then I put them on the Nemesis. That's also a thing that I had been doing with the swords. Not these ones I bought directly, but I also was buying vanilla swords and trying to get some legendary potential on them. None of those got legendary potential, but this one at least got some void damage flat. So I'm going to show the first clip where I craft the let's say super relic. Remember, when you craft you have to get the exalted item. So what you can do, as soon as you begin getting the ones with one legendary potential, you can begin getting any rogue relic and slam it and to get at least +2, because +2 already caps us from the bleed node and other things that are really important and gives us a lot of damage, at least 20% more damage, 30% in the case on the bleed if you can stack those 21s. And here, of course, I also want dexterity. And I'm so happy. And I'm also going to pause the clip and I say some things about that. Now, as for the other clip, I'm fighting Herod with 211 corruption. As you can see, also this ring here is also like not that good. Gloves the same, and I still don't have fighting chance. I want to get a 3 or 4 LP ones to snap. The boots in the end, I remember I talked about different boots that you can choose. I have chosen these defensive ones when I have a lot of dexterity, some health, and other health. You can get cooldown reduction or even more dexterity. This is a tier 6 on dexterity and tier 7 health. But ideally you would get like Morning Frost or Sularon, or even remember you can get the Blood of the Exile ones and then get attunement to get the same number of attunement for the extra water orbs. Now I'm going to show you the second clip that I have with the Herod and the Harbinger of Tyranny. If you don't know which one it is, it's the one with the big hammer. This one. I'm also going to take the sound off because I talk a bit, but it's nothing important. Now, this one has enemies with extra endurance, and of course, you know, the normal 180% health. And remember, you have no lethal cadence. Then I kill Herod in a 2 combo. And then he's dead. Now, as you know, this is a little bit annoying for us because the Harbinger spawns, but we don't have full mana. I do mess up on the second combo. I use it too early. Should have waited at least 2 seconds. I also mess up this combo. I don't get the flow well. At least I don't get hit, so I still have concentration and my perfection stacks. I want to wait until 100 and something, so I don't go below the mana threshold for to use the shift. And now this is the last one. It gets conquered. The last clip that I will show after explaining some other things. I will also link it in the description. But first, let's talk about the gear upgrades that you want to do from the other one. Of course, the most important one, it's getting the extra LP on your Black Blade of Chaos. Remember, two-handed swords, well, two-handed weapons in general have really strong mods that you really want to get. Like here, this one is the best that you can get, the extra melee damage, because we do a lot of lightning, but we also do some void. And if you have Morning Frost, you will do a lot of cold too. So for example, I have 76 dexterity, but you can get more than 100 if you get good good spreads of things. Now, as for that one, of course, you do want to get an slam, and if possible, get some armor shred, chance to armor shred. The mod, even at tier 5, goes up to 320. I didn't get too good rolls on these ones, but I prefer to get those. I don't have a lot of forging potential left for those. This one I'm going to try and hit on the one with 1 LP, because if I get the shred, it's okay. If I get the lightning, it's okay. This one has 3, let's say, decent mods, but they are not some of the best as this one. The one has 3 that are really good mods, and this one also has 2 that are really good mods. For the belt, of course, you want shatter chains. I have here some belts that I'm going to try and slam, that have, of course, increased line damage, and if possible then mana regeneration or void damage. Like for example, this belt is really good, and it's the one that I will be using until I get some poison resistance that I need to get up. Going to be a little bit less health, but more damage. Of course, as we do a lot of lightning damage, we want to get that extra tier 7 mod there. You can go defensive and get the tier 7 on the hybrid health. It's the best mod to one. Or cooldown reduction. You really want a lot of cooldown reduction if you want to push monoliths. You basically would want cooldown reduction and mana regeneration, so you can spam shift and also lethal mirage. But I don't care that much about pushing monoliths. Maybe I will make one guide after doing the late game one, that is pushing monoliths super hard with Esteemed Fate. Those are the boots that also reduce shift cooldown. If you can get shift to like 0 point something, and you have a lot of mana regeneration, you can slam a lot. You also likely also take some points of coated blades, but that is not that important. Now, of course, the skills and passives I already explained on the other video, so I will explain them more at the end tail of the video. So if you are interested in those, you can also look at the planner. But first, I'm going to talk about idols. Idols is the same thing as before. You can use one like this, that is critical strike multiplier, and then the best one is armor shred effect, but those are really pricey. You can get ones with multiplier and damage with sword a little bit cheaper. And remember, you can use up to 4. That is, if you want to go super offensive. You can get one here, then one here, and one here. You can also, if you want to go a little more also defensive, there are really good grand idols here. Ignore the mods on these ones. These are just like to show you, kind of. And you can get armor shred chance in this case instead of effect. It's really good also. And then the second mod, there is not a lot that you can get because we don't really care about duration. We want to kill in one hit, but you can get those two ones. You can also get percentage elemental resistance, so you can use not get elemental resistance on the other places where you would need it, or get ward when you create shadow or on shift. Those are really good mods. And if, for example, we create 5 shadows, and also every time we use shift we create a shadow, so if you get some of those, you can get like 1000 or more ward just by using abilities and clearing. That's of course a defensive play. Blessings, I'm going to go really fast on those. You should already also know them, kind of. But we have endurance. We want to cap that one, of course. All resistances. Here you can get physical resistance or cold resistance, or if you want to go morning frost, you of course get the one that you have less. Or here you can cap void resistance with the blessing. It's really good. Or you can also get void shred if you already have a lot of void resistance somewhere, or use the special neck that makes it so the void damage that you take goes to fire instead. That neck is also really good. You can get a 3LP one. It's also one of the better necks apart from the Hillis. Hillis, of course, it's one neck that is going to be really hard to get a good roll off. I kind of let's say stole this one, but it's really unlikely that you get a good one with any LP. You can also put it on the Nemesis and get the extra mods or LP if you are really lucky. I think the weighting on this one is really low. The same thing as drops. Now the neck I was talking about is the Void 8 of Fire or something like that. It's called. It gives also a lot of mana. I was planning on using that one, but I saw this one for like 100k, so I just got it. Now, after doing the idols, blessings, and everything, you of course want to get into the skills and other things. So let's go for the skills. The skills themselves haven't changed much. We still use Lethal Mirage to clear now. So instead of having 20 points, we have 26. 2 from the Hillis and 4 from the Relic. So now we have the Sundering Blows maxed. And then I also maxed Ravaging Mirage instead of getting the penetration. That gets converted into lightning here. I also got flat damage because we will have eventually a lot of multipliers on our damage general. This also gets converted to lightning damage. And we also have a lot of penetration from our weapon. Eventually even more if we get 3LP1, get the 2 offensives and maybe shred or something like that. We have right now 76 dexterity. That means that we are getting this mod a lot of times. We have like 4% every time that we get that, and we also had that void penetration. Remember, try to get good rolls on both of those. We don't really care about shock or time rot at all. The percentage on Lethal Mirage remaining cooldown, I do recommend to try and get more than 10% or get some cooldown reduction. Otherwise, it's a bit annoying when clearing or killing some bosses. If you want to do the combo in a row, you don't kill it once. Now, for the other gear that it's harder, let's say, to change is the helmet and the chest. Why do I say the chest is hard to change? It's because getting you really want a 3 LP at least chest, because the mods on chests are super strong. The one for Lethal Mirage, as you can see here, gives us a lot of mana efficiency, and also of course extra mirage. You can get the tier 6 mod of this one if you see a big one with dexterity. Ideally, of course, you get tier 7 dexterity and at this tier 6 of the Lethal Mirage mod. Also, this base is really good because with this base you up endurance. You have the blessing maxed out. Endurance, as you know, caps at 60%. And good. And then I just went for health and elemental resistance. Sadly, it didn't have enough foraging potential because I got this one without dex, and then I crafted dex. It did roll max at least. And then for chests, remember we have this is the one of the best defensive ones if you have not hit the mod. The static hard one also that gives us more damage if the target is shocked. It's kind of defensive and offensive because if you have that one and some armor rolls, you get hit with a lot more armor effectiveness, and especially if you use the decayed skull. I'm also going to talk about it a little bit. The decayed skull gives a lot of armor and also more armor, but the offensive helmet in the case it's the Bone Clamor Barbut, but same thing as with the Loot of the Exile boots. Those one has intelligence, so you would have to get attunement somewhere else to kind of balance it again for the Usenui's sphere that gives us huge amounts of damage, and it also has really good stats. Now for the helmet, of course, I do have synchronized strike, but if you get the Nihilis with 2+2 to skills, you can actually get another mod instead of a really good dexterity roll. The base itself, this one is kind of good because it has also some fire resistance and multiplier. You can also get the Falconer one that has 5 dexterity. There's also one that has cooldown reduction. That one will be really good for clearing in general. It's the one that I actually used on my other build. And what you want is basically you want synchronized strike damage. If you just like it, it's there. The synchronized strike, apart from the 2 that we get here, are not really important. You can even make do with the 20 points that you get given, but having some extra melee damage, it's never bad. It's also general melee damage. You can also get the extra damage with swords. You can get a tier 7 of that one or a tier 7 of dexterity. Tier 7 of dexterity, of course, is the best one, but it's going to be really pricey if you want to get that one and also a decent one with damage with swords. It's easier to get a tier 7 of damage with swords. That is a lot of damage, more than 100 I think, and then just get the dexterity crafted. It's not that bad either way. Then some resistance and some health, it's never bad. One thing that I didn't talk about, idols. You can really go full defensive if you want and just get double health idols everywhere. It's going to help a lot on your survivability, and some people really do that. Also get the vitality ones with the resistance that you need. Of course, I'm really unlucky, so I never high roll them. I also need some extra poster resistant ones. And then the small idols, you want armor and health, just the best one. You can also get, of course, mana and health, but mana, remember, it's not the thing that we really look for. We just have a really high mana pool because of these blocks, but it's way better to get mana regen if you can. Of course, you can try and get mana regen here and here and here. The neck that I did use for a while had mana regen, and of course, it's really good to get also some lightning damage and then the resistances that you lack. And if you have enough resistances, the neck slot actually can get armor shred. Really good. Now that covers almost everything. that I wanted to talk about in this update. Remember, don't be like me, don't be dumb. Upgrade your weapon. It's the most important part. It will give you huge deals of damage. And now you will see the struggles of what happens if you don't upgrade your gear enough. And also, really, it's not actually hard, because you have a lot of leech. And also, you can literally kill bosses doing shift and lethal mirage, as long as you don't get one shot. So another thing that you can do that helps a lot, you can cap your glancing blows. It doesn't take a lot, with 1 or 2 dodge mods or dodge percent mods, or you can also get the remember the blessing that gives extra dodge. That should be, there are 2 blessings that give extra dodge. They should be somewhere around places. I remember it was one of these. Here, increase dodge rating if you already have the endurance, but I really like the endurance. There's a percentage one, and then there's a flat one somewhere. This one also has health if you already have the void resistance capped. Really good. Here's the shred and the multiplier. Multiplier is also really good. Experience and other things. You don't really care about the things. What you could do, of course, is put the Hornet Idols things. Now, I am going to show the Heldorot. Sorry, the Lagon and the Harbinger of Chaos. I'm actually really glad that I did this one early. Let's say I didn't do this on the at 200% or 300 corruption. This is only 248. That actually for me it's quite a lot. So now let's put it here. Okay. And let me move it over here so you can see it. Perfect. So as you can see here on the screen now, we have 248. I actually died quite a bit on this one, just because I'm an angsty and bad player. But you can do what I did in the end. I decided to use do it the hardened way. Now, Lagon in itself, it's a really annoying boss. You can do what I did. You go from one side to another when his side turns red, or you can use the stairs. I don't really like using the stairs. I think it's kind of like a thing. You can actually kill him before the phase starts if you do it well. You do a one combo, then wait for mana, and then do a double one. But I just want to get into the Harbinger fight. I died like 10 times already. As you can see, our defensive capabilities are actually not that bad. We have a lot of leech. And with just using lethal mirage, we get filled up. Also, if we get some dash routes, we actually do cap our glancing blow chance. I'm just here keeping trying to keep lethal cadence and the flow and stacks of some of the extra bleed to get free damage. Now here I don't really care about the lethal cadence stacks. Run away from the eye, remember. And now we go into the Harbinger fight. I don't have full mana here, so you can see I can only do one combo really, and then we have to dodge the fire and the other things. Well, we are regenerating mana. You can really just dodge things with shift and evade even. Remember, you lose health by using evade with the Nihilis, but still, you can just keep doing that. The waves are not going to kill you unless it's really high corruption. And if you are doing really high corruption anyway, you would want to get the more defensive gear in this case, or just kill it faster. If you get enough damage, you can just kill it. I will eventually, of course, do that. I'm more of that school of thought of your killing it before it can kill you. As you can see here, I haven't even done the right combo for a long while. I'm not using synchronized strike until here, but we'll get the damage. Now, of course, remember, if you do get the Shattered Chains belt, that's at least 20% more damage and an increase on all of your melee damage and some flat void. That's a lot of damage. Also remember to get the some damage mods on your Siphonous Anguish, your Fighting Chance gloves with also some offensive mods. In that case, you can get, instead of Necrotic Resistance that I have here, you can get Shred Chance. Just cap that Necrotic elsewhere. On the boots, you can get Dexterity, it's always good. Cooldown reduction, never bad, but it's not something that breaks the bank. And your Julra, I have elemental damage. This was a random one. It just dropped on the tier 1 Julra that I did to try and get the tier 2 and tier 3, of course. And I just slammed it with one random ring that I had, and it procced like this. You keep doing Julra, try to get a 2 LP one and get Dexterity and Lightning, but of course 2 LP ones are going to be super hard to get. So you can do two things. You can put them on the Harbinger, white, like it's also really hard to get to actually buy 0 LP Julra Star Dials. So you can do Julra a lot. People have huge deal of temporal whatever here's. Eventually you will get 0 LP ones that you can use on the Nemesis craft thingy. And to end this, I will do a fast monolith run. This is 248. Remember, I do think that my gear is not great for the content that I'm doing. And the gear is of course not optimized. If I cared about the optimization, I would have capped my endurance, my critical strike avoidance or critical strike reduction. I would also have gotten my sword ready. Also talking about getting the sword ready, I really don't think this is a build to play as one of the social fall one, because the sword also has huge roll range, apart from hard getting at the right LP, and also they have made super easy to get the rep now. Like, I'm not even done with the main story and I'm already level 9. Of course, if you do want to get some boss skill, you will have to do the right combo. And you can also use puncture to just get a little bit of mana. Never bad. There's a Harbinger here. At least this is really good to do the Harbinger and the Siles thingies. Here we have one Siphon of Anguish that we can use. This one. And then we empower. I didn't even hit him with any ability and he died. I don't think that is going to ever change because I'm overkilling it by so much. Even at 400 or 500 corruption, I think we are deleting them always. Also, something that it's important, eventually the Santum market will post filter. I really recommend you that use one of those to get gold. What I'm doing to get gold is just looking at the max roll builds and builds in last epoch tools, and just crafting those items that people would want. Remember, now that is the beginning of the season, there's a lot of players that don't have the tier 7 So you really want to craft a lot of yellow items actually. Holy fuck, that patrolling boy is so far away. A lot of yellow items. Get a lot of idols. Idols are really big because remember, as a rogue, there is a really popular build that is using the Shadow Daggers thingy. I sold a huge deal of those idols already for more than 500k. And even 100 and 200k really easily. The mana stackers are also super strong. I actually have given up on the helmet that gives mana and other things, because apart that it's almost impossible to get it at 2 LP, you actually run out of mana really easily. I don't think it would be a good helmet for this build, and also don't get hit. A nice day. I already completed the molis, I don't care about them. This is, remember? Of course. About the videos and things, I will be going to sleep now so I can get early up tomorrow. The reason my sleep work on Monday.